Hi, you guys, it's Gina Brogan. It's so late at night, so maybe you can catch the replay tomorrow morning. Maybe you'll catch some of this tonight. I'm in bed, snuggled up with my sweet sweatshirt and my water, and don't tell anybody, I just had hot chocolate. I just had hot chocolate because that's what my body wanted. The little child inside of me wanted hot chocolate and to snuggle up, and so I did. I had hot chocolate. It was so good, you guys. Anyway, it's a treat that I don't often allow myself to have, and it's my favorite thing on the planet. Anyway, I met a new friend today, and we were talking manifestation. We were talking how do you create your next vision? How do you step into that? How do you do what you do? And I talked a lot about the things that I do. I shared some of my favorite techniques. And hi, if you're on here, say hi. And one of those techniques that I use to really become a fast manifester and live in that state of faith is look at that hair. Look at that. I have developed, and I continue to work on developing, my sixth sense, my intuition, my higher self communication with the universe. So then she said, well, how do you do that? How would you teach somebody to develop their intuition and their sixth sense so that they can manifest, or so that they can live in that, that magical unicorn fairyland that I love to live in? And so I was like, I think this might be a really important thing for people to know, that, to just live in that state of trusting that the universe always has your back. Things are always working out for you. You really can't get it wrong. You can't get life wrong when you are tuning in and acting from your heart space. And so I thought I would share a few tips for staying connected. Whoa, that was weird. I thought I saw somebody come in my room. For staying connected and developing your sixth sense. Because what she said was, when manifesting, when I'm creating that vision and tuning into my vision and calling in that life that I choose versus the default life, it's really hard to stay connected to my next level self. And I said, yeah, it takes practice. It's not hard. It takes practice, commitment, and dedication, because we are always, I'm holding my fingers up, because we are always interpreting the world, putting our attention on the five senses, right? The five senses are very easy. First of all, they're very developed. Our sense of sight, smell, sound, hearing, touch, and taste. They're very highly developed, and we rely on them. We rely on them almost too much. And if you think about developing your sixth sense, your intuition, then you have a whole new communication, a whole new level of communication with the universe, with the unseen, with your spirit, with your next level self, with your higher self, whatever you want to call it. And this is where you are able to communicate with, through your dreams, communicate with, in those more subtle ways. Not relying so heavily on the five senses, because what happens is you miss messages. You miss a lot when you are not tuning in to your sixth sense. And so I was telling her about ways. She was like, how do you do that? How would you teach clients to tune in? And I was saying, some ways. Obviously, meditation. Meditation is a really strong one. It's really important to carve out the space in your day to tune out the world. Tune out the noise from everywhere, everything that is demanding your attention. Stop the busyness and say for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, whatever you want, whatever amount of time you want to dedicate to your connection practice, commit to it and spend time each day tuning in to hear, to your body, your mind, your spirit, your emotions. What is happening right here? And tune out everything else. That is the fastest way to develop your connection, your communication, your language, your conversation with spirit, with your spirit. And another way is ways that I do it is through writing. I do tons of writing activities that access information that I didn't know I had available. I don't know, like another person today, I've been talking to a few people today about what I do. Another person said to me, what if you don't know what you really want? And I said, yes, that is really a valid question, because most people who aren't really tuning in on a regular basis, they don't know what they want, because they're connecting with, they're focused on answering everybody else and pleasing so many other people. Hi, how are you feeling? How's your recovery going? Oh my gosh, my first business coach ever. Hi, Angelica. She just had, did you have? Oh my gosh. So are you. How are those baby boys of yours? So I wish you a very speedy recovery. I can totally relate. I went through the same thing. I did not have a hip replacement. I think I told you it was a hip osteotomy. So the recovery was literally worse than childbirth. It was so horrible. For 12 weeks, I was on crutches. It was really bad. The pain was outrageous. Anyway, on to other things. I'm so glad you're doing well. I'm so glad. I loved that video you shared of you walking. That's amazing. Congratulations, and let's stay in touch. So anyway, I'm talking about how to develop your intuition, how to really tune into that small, quiet, subtle voice that is within each and every one of us. Nobody is exempt from having intuition. It's just that many of us have forgotten that it is available to us, and we rely very heavily on our five senses, and we forget about our sixth sense. I can't hold up 6 fingers right now. I know I'm pretty dang magic, but I can't do that. So how do you do that? Prayer, meditation, journaling. So I do a lot of journaling, and I will ask myself questions, or I will create visions that I'm for my future. I will connect with my future self and write a letter from my future self about a situation that I have manifested. And through those exercises, I do tons of just amazing exercises that help me to access information that I don't know if I'm just going throughout my day, like, oh, what do I want to do for my next retreat? Well, I don't know. But when I do a letter from my future self, on the other side of that retreat, or I have another wonderful activity where I will write a testimonial from a woman who just attended a retreat of mine. And doing these exercises helps me to access information like, oh, wow, I never even thought about, doing a retreat and having this there, or something like that. So information will come through me. And here's one way that happens is that there's no resistance there. There's no big, heavy, like, okay, what's your plan for the retreat? What's the budget? Where's it going to be? And here's all the answers I need to know. I don't need to know all the answers. I allow those answers to come to and through me through my journaling exercises. So that's a wonderful way to access your intuition, right? And another wonderful way to access your intuition, if journaling and writing isn't your thing, maybe creating a vision board, and as you're looking for things that you are inspired by, then you will kind of know, oh, I forgot I love playing Mario Brothers when I was a kid, and I don't even know what that's all about. But other ways to access your intuition are to ask yourself questions. Ask yourself questions about, like, you could ask yourself, where do I see myself in 10 years? Or you can ask yourself, here's another one. This is another really fun one. I love to help people with their relationships. I love to help people take really challenging relationships and completely heal them and turn them around through letter writing. And if you had the courage to write a letter to somebody that you are having a really tough time with and send them tons of love, maybe say sorry, maybe say, hey, I understand you, that's one level. But do this. Write a letter from somebody else to you, somebody that you have a hard time with, that you have conflict with and a rough relationship with. Write the letter that you would like to receive from that person, and then write a letter back and be really open and vulnerable and loving. And when you are doing these activities, what you're doing is you are opening your heart. You're cracking your heart wide open. And try to do this without crying, without feeling so much emotion. When you are in your heart, that's your intuition. That's the portal to your intuition. So that helps you gain guidance. And so that's another way. Another way to access your intuition and to develop it is to think about or follow yourself. Be observant of you. And as you go throughout your day, pay attention to anything that sparks your joy, anything that makes you look and laugh and look for things. Ask yourself to be on the lookout for like 5 things that make you laugh, or 5 things that make you sad, or 5 things that inspire you. And when you ask yourself ahead of time to be shown these things, you will be shown them. Your reticular activation system will be on high alert for those things. And when you ask yourself to say, oh, I want to experience a miracle today, and you start your day off asking for a miracle, you will see a miracle. And so that will reinforce to you that, oh, there's something afoot here. There's something, I'm connecting with something that I can't see. Consider that your intuition. Something that is like reinforcement or a synchronicity that you can't see. You couldn't have orchestrated, you couldn't have made it happen that way, you couldn't have put it together, but the universe delivered a miracle. When you ask for signs, you will be given the signs. And that is another fun way to develop your intuition. Okay, so last tip I'm going to give you, and this is fun and kind of scary. Make decisions without asking anybody else. So, 4 years ago, I booked a trip to Mexico for an entire week, and I did not tell a soul. I didn't tell anybody. Nobody. I didn't even tell my kids. I mean, obviously, I made arrangements when it got down to the time, but I didn't ask permission. I didn't tell my parents. I didn't tell my friends. I actually had friends going, why didn't you tell me you were going to Mexico? I would have come with you. Well, I was very intentional. I went to Mexico by myself in order to write a book. I went to write a little meditation book, and I did, actually. I was very successful, but I wanted to not be that people-pleasing person that I had always been throughout my life. I wanted to do something kind of bold and crazy and all on my own. If you can start to learn to trust yourself by making kind of just big decisions without asking permission or polling the universe, as in polling everybody. Should I go to Mexico or Costa Rica? Should I do this or that? Should I, call in sick today? When you start to make these decisions and they get bigger and bigger, without asking other people's opinion, you are developing trust within yourself. You are learning to trust yourself. This is really powerful. All of these little activities are things that you get to do that are very simple. They cost this much money. There's $0 involved in developing your intuition. It's just tuning out the world sometime part of each day and tuning out distractions. Commit to yourself that for 5, 10, 15, an hour a day, you are going to just turn off the TV, put your phone down, close your door, and be alone, and preferably in silence, and meditate, journal, just connect with yourself. If you can do these things and then make those decisions without asking for permission or opinions or what should I do it this way or that way, what you're doing is you're really developing a lovely, trustworthy relationship with yourself. And that is a wonderful way to develop your intuition. All right? So I hope that this has been helpful. I want to hear in the comments some of the things that you guys are doing, because you're going to change your life. Hi, Michelle. How are you? Thank you for saying hi. So I'll do a quick recap. Ways to develop your intuition. Meditation. Duh. Like meditation. Now, what does that look like? This person did ask me, what does meditation look like? For me, it looks like I sit here, I close my eyes, I'm quiet. That's it. Sometimes I will do a guided meditation, especially if I just am too wound up. But I really like to try and just do my own thing and not have anything coming in, so that I can really hear, even if you're in a guided meditation, you're still being fed information. I like to hear what is going on inside of me. So that's what meditation looks like for me most of the time. So another thing you can do, write letters from your future self. Write letters from, from people who you want to develop a better relationship with. You want to heal your relationships with. Calling in somebody. If you're calling in a partner, start to write letters to and from yourself and that partner. Sitting inside, oh my God, thank you for that, because I forgot to mention, getting out in nature, spending time in nature is huge for developing your intuition. Huge, because you're vibing at the level of nature. Nature has no resistance. If you're fully in nature, then you're like really, really vibrating at that wonderful love or above space. So thank you for adding that. So writing letters, communicating to your higher self. It doesn't have to be through writing. It can be through art. If you're an artist, if you paint, if you draw. If you want to go into a meditative state, just drawing. That's why adult coloring books have become really, really popular, because it gives people that space to get out of the busyness of life and to get into something that is, doesn't require a lot of thought, and out of their head, as you will, and into your heart. What else did I say? I had some really good stuff in here. I want to finish up with the last few tips I left, because they were really good. What were they? Can somebody remind me? Oh, and I do love to do oracle cards. I love oracle cards. I do those. I read with oracle cards when I'm doing Facebook Lives, because for whatever reason, they seem to be really lined up. But that's not the thing that I was talking about. What was I talking about just before I finished up? Anyway, I can't remember. I got to catch the butterflies when they're flying. And it's very late at night. I'm very tired. So I did really want to get on here and share this information with you guys. I know somebody needs it. Somebody will really love it. Arg, but now it's going to bother me, because it was really good stuff. Meditation, get into nature, writing letters, Anyway, if anybody can remember what it was, let me know. I want you, if you're going to try and do this, I want you to write in the comments something that you did, share something with the group if you, or with, not the group, but whoever's in here, an idea you have that helps you build your intuition. And this is how you develop your conversation with your next level self, your higher self. And this really, really helps you manifest like crazy. Yeah, definitely watch the replay and remind me what I said. Can you write in the comments what it was? I had some really good ones at the end. As you can tell, I'm losing my voice. I'm awfully tired. It's been several days of really good stuff, a lot of moving parts, and I haven't slept a whole lot. I've been very active. And my friend said that's probably because of the full moon. That could be it. So anyway, thank you guys for watching so much. I hope you enjoyed this. This has been really good. Prayer is so huge. Prayer, just asking. Oh, prayer, yeah, asking for advice. Asking like, hey, that's the one thing that I love to say is like, you know, when I'm stuck on something and I know that there's an answer, I will say, show me the way. Show me the way. How can I see this differently? Bring me a solution. Please just pray for the highest resolution of this situation. So yeah. Okay, thank you, Michelle, for adding your really great, valuable content. I love it. I appreciate it. And share in the comments if you have any ideas, or if you have anything that you did. I can't remember what I said. I really wish I could, but I can't. I love you guys. Have a good night. Bye-bye.